What's up, guys, and welcome back to another Lick of the Week. This week's episode is about something new and exciting, the Dorian mode of the major scale. Okay, so the Dorian mode is the second mode of the major scale, and when I mean mode, basically what that means is a scale within a scale. So, to explain a little further, last week's episode we talked about the major scale, and we played a G major scale, and that would be considered the first mode, or Ionian, which is the same thing as major. The thing with Dorian is it's basically the G major scale, but you play it starting on the second note of the major scale, which is your A. So if you start on an A and play a G major, the same notes that are in a G major scale, you'll have what's called A Dorian. The Dorian mode is considered a minor mode, and it's kind of this smooth mix between a major and minorish sound. It's not so minor that it's depressing and sad, and it's not so major that it's overzealous and joyful. It's kind of a smooth, bluesy jazz type mode. So now I'm going to show you a shape to play the Dorian mode up all of your strings and across about 2 octaves. So for our A Dorian mode, you're going to start on the 5th fret of your E string. You're going to move up to the 7th, then to the 8th. You're going to move up a string, play the 5th fret on your A string, then the 7th. Then we're going to move up to your D string and play the 4th fret, then to the 5th, then to the 7th. Move up to your G string and play the 4th, the 5th, then the 7th. Then you're going to move up to your B string and play the 5th fret, then the 7th, then the 8th. Then you're going to move up to your high E string and play the 5th fret, then the 7th, then the 8th. So all together it should look and sound like this. So to think of things in relative terms towards the major scale, if you go to play an A major scale, but you want it to be Dorian, you're going to flat the 3 and flat the 7, meaning you're going to drop the 3rd note down a fret and the 7th note down a fret, which is what makes it a minor mode, because that major third becomes a minor third. So instead of playing 5, 7, 9, for the A major scale, you're going to play 5, 7, 8. Because that's your flat third, going from here to there. Then you've got your 4, 5, 6. And instead of playing the 6th fret on the D string for that A major scale, you're going to drop that 7th note down to the 5th fret. And then back up to your octave. So that can be another pattern for the Dorian scale. So you play, for the A Dorian scale, you could play 5th fret on your E string, up to the 7, to the 6 with that minor third. Then you're going to play your 4th, 5th, and 6th. Then you're going to play that minor 7, or that flatted 7, on the 5th fret, the minor 7, and up to your octave. So, in terms of chords, like we talked about in the major scale video, it works the same way as the notes for the most part. Just like how an A Dorian scale is the G major scale, just started on the 2nd note of the G major scale, the chords work in a very similar way. You can basically think of the chords of a major scale, which is a major 1, minor 2, minor 3, major 4, major 5, minor 6, and diminished 7th, and take that and start on the 2nd. So you basically would shift all the chords over. So your 1 chord in a Dorian scale would be a minor, which would be technically the same thing as the 2nd chord in the major scale, which is minor. So for a Dorian scale, your 1st chord is minor, your 2nd chord is minor, your 3rd chord is major, your 4th chord is major, your 5th chord is minor, your 6th chord is diminished, and your 7th chord is major. And like I was saying, this mode is considered a minor mode, so you can play the scale over an A minor chord. But a lot of times they don't play just a straight up A minor. What they'll do is they'll turn all of the chords in the Dorian mode into 7 chords. So instead of playing an A minor, they would play an A minor 7. Or... And it gives it that more jazzy, bluesy feel, and it gives it the mood and the taste and flavor of that mode. Okay, so the Dorian mode is a very jazzy, smooth, bluesy type mode. It's the 2nd mode of the major scale, and it's definitely a fun one to play with and mess around with if you've got a backing track going on or you write your own stuff. It's definitely a very smooth type scale. So that's it for this week's episode. Thank you guys so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing, and I will see you in the next video.